You have one? Okay, the limits on your Watson account. Okay, so actually it's a bit complicated. So there are currently 3 courses: the data science course, the machine learning course, and the AI course. And if you join the data science course and you enter the 2nd week, you will get a promo code which gives you more resources. In the SEC course, the machine learning course, and I think also in the AI course, you are running in the free tier. So the free tier is limited, and it's not so easy to explain how and why it is limited, because every service is having a different limit. So for example, if you are in Watson Studio, you have a free Anaconda runtime available, which I think has 2 CPU cores and 4 GB of main memory for free and forever free. In addition to that, you have a certain amount of CPU hours available for free per month. And if you change the runtime, so actually let me show that to you. Yeah, so the limits are per month on the runtime. And for example, let's take one project here and click on environments. Then you see here you can create different environment definitions, and let's say create a new one just for the sake of demonstration. Here you can choose the hardware configuration. You see here 1 virtual CPU core and 4 GB of RAM is for free, and then you can consume up to 16 cores and 64 GB of RAM, but those are limited in the free tier, and once they are used up, the counter is reset in the next month, so you can use those on a monthly basis. So that's now only true for the runtime, but you have also a Spark runtime, which has also free tier, and I think the number of executors which are for free are 2. And regarding Spark, it's even a bit more complicated, because now here you can have a Spark 2.3 service. So this is one way of adding Spark to your environment. But let's go back to projects. I know it's sometimes a bit complicated. Okay, let me just finish that explanation, and I'm waiting for additional questions if there are any. So here in settings you can also add services, and here you can either add a Spark service, so that's where you can get a Spark version 2.1, and on the runtime environment side you can get a Spark version 2.3, and in addition you have here the IBM Analytics engine, which is an Hortonworks installation, and I think you have 300 CPU hours of capacity per month free as well in that. So you can do relatively a lot for free, but you need to know how. And in addition, there's not only Watson Studio, but also the IBM Cloud in general. And there's also a free tier for every service. So in the free tier, every service which is marked as light is for free. And let's take the storage service for example. So that's S3 compatible storage, and you see here the light plan offers you 5 GB of data for free per month. And every service in the IBM Cloud which is marked as light has a free tier. So for example, if you go to a more advanced AI service like natural language understanding, There's also a free tier, and you see here 30,000 NLU items are free per month. Once they are used up, it's not working anymore, so you don't need to provide your credit card credentials. It's just limited, and in the other month it's working again. So yeah, the counter resets every month. Yeah. One more question about the dashboard for the projects. How do you stop it so that the runtime count stops? No, I understood your question. Yeah, that's also depending on the service. For example, if you are provisioning an IBM Analytics Engine service, then unfortunately it starts counting from the point where you provisioned it. So that means you just need to delete it afterwards, which is not such an issue because the notebooks which you are managing from Watson Studio are still there. They are all stored in Object Store, so that's not an issue. But those 300 hours are consumed starting from the service deployment. If you deploy a Spark service here, that's not an issue because it's anyway a free forever thing. And if you are using an Anaconda runtime here, then it's basically whenever a kernel is attached to the notebook, the hours are counted. And if you have a running kernel with a notebook, you will see a green circle here, and you can click then on stop kernel in that list. Sorry, not in that list. Sorry, it was wrong. It's in assets, and then you have the notebooks, and if the kernel is running, you will see the status here and the green circle, and you can stop the kernel in that drop down then, and then it stops consuming hours from your credit. How do you stop it so that the runtime? Yeah, that's actually the answer to your question. Okay, are there any other questions? Okay, then I just want to say thank you for. Oh, you're welcome. Anything I can help, I will make happen. Hi, Ashish. So we are actually in the last round of taking questions. If you have any questions, please ping it in the chat. If you want to share your screen and talk to me via audio, let me know. I can share you a WebEx link here. Okay, so now let me know what's your problem.
So over here, when I'm trying to wait, I'll just show you. See, first of all, I'll show you what's the problem. It is telling me that the third live data integration part is not able to connect.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I've tried it a lot of times, but I'm not getting what's the problem because probably I'm not having much knowledge of integration.
No problem.
So would you mind telling me?
Okay, yeah, the first thing to start is with Node-RED. So can you please open your Node-RED instance? So if you go a bit up, you will see a connection string. Let me see. No, I think it's a bit down. Somewhere there is we are making a connection to a MQ, maybe a bit down. Connection to a MQTT message queue. Yeah, here you see. Stop. Okay, you see here options. I think you have set everything correctly because you see here connect success. So that means from the Jupyter notebook you are running a Python kernel, and that Python kernel now has successfully connected to the MQTT message queue. Now in the box number 33 we are setting up a Python queue, and in 34 so we are registering a callback listener, which we are doing in the box 32. So whenever a message comes from the message queue, this callback handler is executed. And what we are doing here is we are basically extracting the X, Y, and Z values. So this is a hypothetical vibration sensor which captures vibration data in X, Y, and Z direction. And on each callback we add such a data point to the queue with queue.put point. That's basically all. Okay, and if you scroll a bit down, so submit work, it's true, that's correct. That means it will be submitted. So now it gets interesting. So if you see 36, that's the do neural network function which actually does run the training. But if you go more down, one cell more down, this one, yeah. So this is the interesting one. Okay, so this is the endless loop, and you see here because we have a while true, that means this loop will run forever, and you will see a star forever in that cell. That means this process is hanging. If you want to get out of that, you have to kill the kernel, okay, and run all the cells top down. The second statement is a second while loop which only runs if there's data in the queue. Okay, and if there is data in the queue, you see here in the 1 to 3rd line, you say queue.get. So we are pulling out one data point from the queue, and we are creating a NumPy array out of it. And since those are 3 points per data point after reaching 9,000 data points, we enter this section here. This section reshapes our NumPy array to 3000,3. That means we have 3000 training examples and 3 dimensions x, y, z. Okay, and then we are printing sending window downstream to the neural network. And if you now scroll to the right hand side, do you see this output? So at the bottom of the cell there is an output area, and you can scroll to the right hand side here. So you do not see. And if you don't double click into that cell and count the number of points, I recommend using an editor or so, you should see at least 3000. If not, we are not entering this if branch, and we are not sending the data to the neural network. If we are entering the if branch, then we call do_nn, which is the function we have defined above, and that's actually running the neural network once. So this means you haven't received enough data. If you manage to open Node-RED, I can show you what you need to do. If not, I can share my screen and show you how to do it.
I don't want to waste your time because it will take time. So it will be great. I'll try it again, and on 14, if I have any problem, I'll ask you.
Okay.
I'll do it properly again. You told me how the procedure. Now I'll try to implement that.
Awesome. Okay. So let me just. I think you can follow my screen on YouTube.
Yeah.
Let me just show you what to do in Node-RED. So I think you have successfully deployed that, because otherwise you wouldn't have seen those dots arriving. So let me double check. Yeah, this is the correct one. So see, just to make sure that you are seeing it, or have some other flows here from the other course, not from the AI course. So let me get rid of that. So if you click on debug, you will see the data arriving. So what I'm doing here is I will now connect those two, and I will click deploy, and I'm activating this debug window here. So, and now I'm clicking reset. You see here on the right hand side, data is being generated. So the way how it works is data is generated here and sent to the IBM Watson IoT platform using MQTT. So let's stop this debug for 1 second and have a look at the nature of one such a message. You see here it's just X, Y, and Z. Those are the values. And you should see 3000 of them because I'm sending out 3000. But maybe for some reason some data gets lost because we are not using quality of service 2. So quality of service 2, you can try that if you like, is saying exactly once guaranteed delivery, but that way you might lose some data and therefore not reaching the 3000 messages. So the way to solve that easily is just once this has been finished, so it's still running, we can wait, maybe we wait until this happens, just click reset again here, and not here, it's on this little button here. If you click reset again, I just show you what happens. The only thing what I'm doing is I'm setting the count to 0. That means this wall here will also have a count of 0, and again 3000 items are sent to the cloud. In addition, what I'm doing is I'm resetting the XYZ parameters of the Lawrence attractor model and basically sending you the same data again. Okay, and that should fix your problem.
Okay.
And if not, just ping me again in the forum, and next week same time we have another session and I can definitely help you out there. And it's not a problem if you're getting delayed. You can always switch sessions in Coursera, so that's also not an issue. Okay, any other questions?
No.
Awesome. Okay, welcome. I'm here to help you. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I wish you a nice morning, evening, night, day, all the best. Thanks so much for your patience, for taking the course, and I hope to see and hear from you again. Bye bye.